Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, 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 yo.
Hello.
Oh, I'm here.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome to All About the Bass. I'm Nathan.
I'm Lee.
And today, this is genuinely
New stuff.
Really exciting stuff.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because this isn't a reboot or a refresh or anything like that. This is a totally new thing.
Absolutely.
And what that new thing is it's a new amp, a bass amp from Boss.
Yes.
In the Katana range.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we know about the Katana guitar amps. Have been out for a while.
So popular. Yeah, very,
The
very
combo's
popular.
incredibly popular. So now they've made a couple for the bass.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. And yeah, the Katana range always had that like bass setting on. So if you wanted to put a bass through it, it's fine. But there was never any actual specific bass amps in the range. So
yeah, of course.
Look what we've got.
This has been designed from the ground up, specifically, obviously, for bass players. That means the speakers. They're not off the shelf. They're all purpose built.
Yep.
The cabs all designed specifically for this. So yeah, really genuinely an exciting thing.
Yes. So no, it's you would hear him there. We're just playing around with just general settings. I know on my one it was pretty flat. We will get into the specs of all the things you can do with this. I mean, we probably won't even go through all of that because there's so much. But
it is ridiculous. I mean, talk about feature packed. This is the stuff that's in here is absolutely crazy.
Absolutely.
Good news is, if you just want to use it as a straightforward bass amp, it's also very simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. We've got both of these DI'd, and we also mic'd them up so you can hear what the cab sounds like. I think for the demo, if you play, and I'll have a fiddle about, and we'll go through and tell people what everything does.
Great stuff.
So give me your lead, man.
There's my lead. Thank you.
I think we should just dive straight in, really.
Go for it. Yeah.
There's no point sort of messing about, is there?
No. I'm flat on the bass, by the way. Just everything's flat. And the basses. We were playing these lovely Charvel Sandemus, brand new things here, which
they're very sexy, aren't they?
Very, very sexy. And check out that we'll have another video coming soon when we talk about these. But ta-da.
So it's worth pointing out just before we dive in. We're looking at two models. This is what they're going to make. And it's you've got the
110.
The 110 with a horn in it.
Yes.
60 watts.
Indeed.
This is the 210 with a horn. 160 watts.
Lovely. Yep.
But Boss are very keen to point out that this is Class AB as opposed to Class D.
Very good. Yes.
Which means that actually you get a lot more headroom.
Yeah. It's
with these than you do with the
responsive.
Class D. More responsive and actually a lot louder, in the room.
Yeah.
Don't be deceived by relative sort of wattage ratings.
No.
No, these are pretty beefy.
These would definitely have to be tried as well to be believed, because I mean we're just the couple of minutes we've had these now, and we're hardly even cranking these at all, aren't they? And they're very, very loud, very responsive. So
well, I think what we might do is maybe take one of these and get something like a Fender Rumble, something we know very well. We might have a little shootout, put them side by side.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely.
So check.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that one. Anyway.
Okie doke.
So you can see all your main controls are on the top panel here. Starting off with, you've got some sort of input effects here, which is a compressor and a drive. These are the sort of things you'd normally see at the front of the signal chain.
Yep.
Compressor and drive. And when you engage the compressor, you'll see this lights up. And then you've got, obviously, the higher it is, the more compression you get. And then within that, you've got 3 different compressors. So you've got the green one, and you've got the red one, and you've got the yellow one.
Ooh.
So instantly, we've got 3 different compressors there. If you want to lose the compressor, just turn it off.
Yep.
It's gone.
Lovely.
Same with the drive. Turn the drive up. We got 1 drive, yellow, green, red. So we've got 3 different drives in there too.
And just before you carry on, mate, is it right that I overheard there's 3 built in, but you can actually choose from quite a few more? Because this links to an app that you can get as well.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you can actually
absolutely,
change all of these parameters inside as well.
Okay, yeah, well, it's worth talking about that now then. So this is just the controls that we have on here and what's accessible to us. Yes, on the back there is a USB input. That means that you could attach your PC or your Mac to this and then edit it. You get editing software from Boss.
Yeah.
Then you've got all the editing features and you can access all the effects and there's loads. There's absolutely loads and loads of stuff.
Check the full description for all the effects that are involved, because there's so many to even go through at the moment.
Yeah, and while we're talking about the USB socket that's on the back, that also acts as an interface. So that will go straight into your digital audio workstation without the need for miking up or DIing. That will just go pump audio straight into your computer.
Love it.
Straight in, handy.
Too right.
Very nice. Moving on, the sort of preamp side of it, they give you 3 voices, which is flat, vintage and modern.
Cool, yep.
I suppose what we should really do is have a play as we're going through.
Absolutely.
It makes sense,
Yeah, no
instead
problem.
of a waffle,
Yeah,
and then people forget what we're talking about. So let's just, first of all, let's have a look at these 3 voices.
Yep.
Right? So flat. Okay. Also, this is good because we kind of discovering things as we go along. These San Dimas Charvels are really hot. They're active basses, but they've got like really hot outputs. So here, you see we've got a little pad thing which I engaged there.
Lovely.
So we've got the gain right off. It was still just breaking up a little bit. So I engaged the pad. That puts in a minus 10 dB. I cannot speak.
Yes, you can.
Minus 10 dB cut.
Yay!
Oh man, I'm burning my tablets. Yes. Yeah. So pad, and that will reduce the gain, and then it cleans everything up very nicely.
Yep.
Anyway, so that was flat. Do the flat again. They've already forgotten what that sounds like. Then modern.
Modern.
Tally-ho. Yeah, that I would imagine that's kind of a bit of a scoot.
It sounds
a thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like a bit of a smiley face sort of EQ
Yeah,
shape. And then we got vintage.
Okay.
Very nice. So that's a very warm, obviously vintage sound.
Yeah.
A much warmer sound. But I think for the sake of this, let's keep it on flat for now.
Cool.
And then we sort of know where we're at, don't we?
Yeah, lovely.
So I'm just going to jump back to because now we can have a little listen to the compressor.
Yeah, cool.
Compressors. See what they sound like.
Cool.
So go on, I'll dial some in. You have a... That's really interesting because you think, different compressors, are they going to be that much different? But actually,
They really do.
all 3 very different voicings, right?
Yeah, really lovely. Yeah, and I can feel that as you're moving around. Say there's moments there that feel more comfortable and less comfortable. Say it's just for everyone's personal preference,
But 3 distinctive different flavours,
Yeah.
which I wasn't really expecting.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay, so and then we've got some drive.
Oh, cool.
Let's have a little listen. Go with that then.
Cool.
Very nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, again, 3 very different drives there. You know, the range of them very subtle. That green one was very much like a sort of tube screamer thing.
Yes,
But,
yep.
you know, just a little bit of thing.
bit of bite.
And then we had some more of a fuzz and more distortion in there. But again, I think we've got even more of these available if you go into the sort of deep editing side of things.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the front end there. Moving along here, we've got a gain control, pretty obvious.
Yes.
And then a channel volume. And you can use the channel volume in conjunction with the master volume. You know, to make if you have the master volume up higher, it makes it more responsive.
Yes.
And then you just use it off of this volume here.
Yeah, brilliant.
This dry level blend thing, this is for later on, so we'll come back to that because when we've got the effects happening,
Yep.
this is a blend between, you know, the sort of affected level, which is, you know, sort of 100% through the effects, and then anything back to completely dry, and then anywhere in between. So,
Lovely,
you know,
yeah.
if you want your sound to cut through a bit more,
Yeah.
less effects,
Yeah.
or if you want it really affected, crank that all the way.
Bring more of that in, yeah.
We'll have a look at that in a minute.
Yeah, lovely.
EQ wise, 4-band EQ.
Nice.
On the mids, it looks like we've got some different frequencies
Some
to
more
go.
choices.
3 different frequencies to go through there on the low and the high. So let's have a listen.
Yeah,
eh?
okay.
All right, there's your EQ. It's very musical.
God, man, there's a lot in there, even just on the different mid frequencies to choose from, isn't there?
Well, there is because you've got those 3 different frequencies to cut and boost on there.
Yeah.
Also, it's worth pointing out, just sort of leaping up to here, we've got you can turn the tweeter on and off within the cabinet. Now, that's not going to affect the DI signal, but it does affect the cab. If we just do that quickly,
Yep.
if you just have a play.
Yeah.
That was awfully funky.
Oh, I'm so useless at that. But what a great tune.
Yeah, what was it?
very
Autumn
slow.
Leaves, was it?
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot slower than the person you know.
Well, very nice.
Sorry.
So moving on to the effects side
Yes.
of things. Now again, this is kind of crazy. If you go into the deep editing side of things on your, on your computer, your device, And there's another way to edit it. I'll get into that in a minute. There's so much in it.
So
It's
much
crazy.
to talk about with this. It's great.
Yeah, so effects-wise, what you can access on here,
Yep.
we've got basically 2 effects sends, as it were, and then within each one of those, you've got 3 different effects.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's go on. You go on.
Okay.
A lot of fiddle with the.
It is, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, polyphonic. That's what we're shouting at each other.
Brilliant. Okay, so yeah, obviously we could hear there we had an octaver.
Yes.
And then we had an envelope filter. And then we had a synth. That was
Yeah,
amazing,
that
like
was
a
lovely.
polyphonic synth.
Yeah.
No tracking problems at all. That
No,
was
no.
absolutely there. And then on that effects 2, we had chorus.
Yep.
And then a bit of phaser or flanger, I think.
Yeah, lovely.
And then delay.
Yeah.
And then we've got a nice little tap control there. So for the delay,
You're doing the tempo.
You can get your do your tap tempos, yeah. Also, just leaping around in the back again, this has got an input for a GAFC, a Boss foot controller. That standard sort of Katana foot controller,
Yeah.
Which is going to let you access a lot of these things. So I'd imagine tap tempo would be one of those.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and switching between banks
That's an
and things.
optional thing. So to get the most out of this amp, you might want to buy that, the foot controller. Okay, so that's the effects side of things. We've also got some presets here, channel presets, and so accessible directly from the amp. You've got 6.
Yeah.
So we've got 1, 2, 3 there, and if you hold panel down for a couple of seconds, then you see that starts, come on!
Starts flashing.
That starts flashing. Well, it does. Oh, because I haven't got any presets in, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's your first lot of presets. Hold panel in for a couple of seconds, that starts flashing, and then you've got another 3 there.
Lovely. Yep.
Clear as mud. Presets, these presets.
Yes.
So, let's just run through the presets and see what they've got on board. Go
Okay.
on. Hit
like
panel
that.
again, and then it's all back to where you were.
Panel. Oh yeah, panel shows just literally what.
Yeah, hit panel once, and then it just goes back to kind of
manual.
where we were. So yeah, that's just some presets. Obviously they've done. You can tweak your own very simply by just pressing one of the presets, twiddle about with it, hold that down, and then saved.
Beautiful.
See, that
okay.
easy. So that's really handy.
Look at this.
A little power stage thing here. So you've got standby, I guess if you just wanted to use it with headphones.
Yeah.
We've got 1 watt, which is a quiet sort of practicing volume. So it's not to annoy your neighbours.
Yeah.
And then the full 160. Great. So that's the whole top panel.
Love it.
On the back, what do we got? Now, on the bigger one,
Yep.
just one of the differences, on the bigger one, we've got a speaker out, external speaker out. So you can marry that up with another cab, whatever you want.
Yep.
That's going to alter the ohmage and give you a bit more level.
Cool. Other than that, it's looking the same. Oh,
Yeah, so this is very interesting. There's a port down here. It's got a little rubber bung in it at the moment, but the idea is that what you can do is purchase at a later date,
another
if
little
you
gizmo.
so desire, this little thing
look
here,
at that.
which is a Boss BT Joule.
So that's Bluetooth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth adapter that plugs into the back of the amp,
Yeah.
and then it makes it accessible to your
Phone or
your
tablet and
iPhone
stuff,
or your Android phone, or I guess your iPad.
Yeah. Just say,
Android
on the
tablet, and
fly.
again, this is a thing that you can, some software you can download from Boss for free, and then it gives you all that sort of editing
all of this, yeah.
opportunity, you know, within your device, and also it allows you to Bluetooth audio back in. So for practicing,
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
you can just get your iTunes up or whatever equivalent, and whatever tunes you got on your phone or whatever, and then just play it through here.
They thought of everything, haven't they?
They have. You've got a headphone socket, so if you don't want to annoy the neighbours, plug your headphones in. We've got
Effects loop as well. We've got.
we have got well, we've got DI out, of course, which has got a ground lift on it, and then on the DI you've got post, all of this, a pre, all of this, and then direct. Okay, so I guess the pre would avoid the effects and stuff and the EQ. The direct, I guess, gives you the bass as it appears here.
Just a straight
so nothing
dry
at
signal.
all. No
Yeah.
preamp, no modelling, nothing. Then we've got an effects loop, yes, send and return. There's a power amp in, so if you didn't want to use any of this and you've got your own preamp, you can just go in there,
Wow,
and it utilises the power amp of this amp. What does this look like? This must look ridiculous. I've been like this for about 5 minutes.
It's your most beautiful angle now.
No wonder I've got back problem. Yeah, so that's something else you can do. We've got the aux in, so you can hardwire your device, MP3 player, to get some audio in there, or whatever audio you want to put in there.
Yeah.
Might be a drum machine. I don't know. You've got the foot switch input for that Katana all singing and dancing foot switch.
The
There's an
GAFC, expression.
Expression.
Hey!
Funny there was a word that I could remember. Expression pedal input. Again, that's gonna
Might even be tap tempo or the rate of stuff as well. Might
all
adjust
sorts.
or
I
volume.
think if you go into the editing, you can assign that to do all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
And then we've got a headphone out and record out. They're all in the same thing.
I don't think we've had so much choice as bass players before, have we, from an amp?
I'm not surprised because this is what Boss are really good at, you know.
Too right, and as you said, it is something that's brand new, as in that we've never had something.
Well, yeah, because I've
this
never
involved
really
for a while.
known Boss as a bass amp manufacturer. You know, I know they did the Cube, which was discontinued a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But nothing like this.
No, and obviously known for like, coming around with the stomp boxes in the 70s and been very, very famous for that. And and Roland were using their name for a while as the Roland Cube.
Generally, you know, sort of guitar-orientated stuff. So this is the first serious, proper sort of delve into a modern look at the bass amp side of things.
Yeah.
And I think they've certainly delivered.
Man, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and there was one thing that we did mention that was, well, we mentioned the AB side of it instead of being a Class D amp, which was quite different, but say you meant to be a bit more responsive. And they were saying that they power the speakers individually, so for this one in particular.
Well, that's right, yeah,
So
they are, so the power amp side of it is bi-amped.
That's what.
Which is like, so it's like a crossover.
Yeah.
Where it sends all the right sort of frequencies to the right place.
Instead of everything through one at once, or both at once. Sorry.
Exactly, yeah. So the high frequency bits go to the tweeter, the low frequency bits go to the other cones. So yeah, they've really thought this thing through, you know.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to talk about pricing at the moment. I mean, these things are going to be available for pre-order.
Yeah.
I think they launch in March.
Yes.
Stock available.
This
in
will probably be released on that day, to be honest. It probably will be they're probably around now. But get in, because they are just going to be filtering through into the country, I think, in the next couple of months after that. So, but we're thinking about 600 and 400, around that sort of money.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, because at the moment they're talking 650 and 400 euros. So if you adjust that a bit, 600, 350 maybe.
Yeah.
Pounds, baby.
Yeah.
This is, again, it's all very approximate at the moment, but just to give you a rough idea, they're not going to be $3,000 each or something.
No.
They're going to be very affordable. So there you have it.
That is a lot of kit in one or two, pretty small little boxes, isn't it? So
yeah, well, that's the other thing. They're really compact.
Yeah.
But you can certainly go out and gig with this one. No
right. And this feels like, say, it's pushing more. And as you're saying, these are all custom designed speakers, cabinets, everything is unique to this bass amp, as it were. So there's no other third-party companies getting involved and just we'll put those in it just to save some money. These have all been designed from the ground up. So
absolutely, yeah, as you'd expect, of course.
Pretty swish.
Yeah.
So maybe we should we play some stuff. Let them sing to say goodbye to the lovely people there. We've probably talked you to death. You just sit back and relax and see what we can make these sing like. That was a lot of S's.
That sounds like a very good idea.
Sentence.
Good. There you go then. So the new Boss Katana bass amps. Check them out.
Yes.
Yeah. Or just buy one.
Indeed.
That's my advice.
Oh, but thanks for joining us. We will see you shortly.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.